Hello malt mates, welcome to the Bothy, welcome to review number 1119 and just a reminder, although most of you watching will know this, but these are about 1119 whisky and other spirit reviews, because this is a quality spirit review channel. If you're looking for cocktail recipes, and if you're looking for what's the cheapest and the most marketing-led and, prestigious stuff, wrong channel. Sorry, I can't help you there. But I can help you by providing my experience to help you get the best quality experience from drinking a bottle of whiskey or rum or anything else. Because ultimately, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. The quality of the experience, and for the money you're paying a producer for the product, are you getting value? Are you getting a return on your investment? And you will notice that when you have a positive connection and association with a producer who respects you by providing quality at an accessible, affordable price. I'm not talking cheap here, but I'm talking the price reflects the quality of what's in the bottle. Then we're on to a winner. We feel more invested. And this is why I am now going to review for you 12-year-old cask strength Bunnahabhain from the island of Islay. This is a non-peated Islay whisky, and it's bottled at 56.4%. Now I can hear you already, some of you Ralphie regulars, you're saying, hey Ralphie, isn't it recently, it can't be that long ago, that you reviewed an earlier version? And here it is, still got it, still enjoying it, still having it now and again as a wee dram in front of the fireside. This is the 2003 edition. This is the 2005 edition. And when you have a good experience, it brings you back all the quicker to buy another bottle to enjoy another malt moment. This is why in this channel you'll see me review a whiskey and then I just won't mention it again for 5, 6, 7 years, if at all. Because it means I haven't bought another bottle. Because I wasn't particularly happy with my first experience. It put me off the brand. This is something that distilleries need to take very, very seriously. Because the cushion, the pillow, the wrapper that used to exist of tolerance amongst the customers, it's no longer there now. It's a very different environment, and it's going to get a lot tougher for everybody very quickly. Those that survive, those that thrive, are the ones who focus their investment in actual, real, tangible, identifiable, experienced quality. I'll be comparing the two bottles in my next review, number 1119 extras. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus on this bottling. On the nose, delightfully intense and soft. Most certainly sherried, but if it was a sherry monster, it would be the most gentle and polite of monsters. This has a strong sherry influence, but it's not a great big blanket over the spirit, masking and obstructing the signature and character of Bunnahabhain single malt. There's raisin notes, intense raisin notes. There's vanilla notes are there. And there's also chocolate orange. I don't tend to mention in providing descriptors very often. I'll usually mention chocolate and orange separately. But here they're together in chocolate orange, which is a British confectionery made by Terry's, in other words, Mondelez. It is got date notes in it, fig notes in it, baked banana. So you see the theme already coming along here, is that there's this sense of age and softness coupled with intensity for stronger, more fruity, dried fruit notes and less fresh fruit notes. First taste, 56.4%, and you can comfortably taste it neat due to the proactive and very well integrated quality of maturation. These are good sherry casks. They're doing a great job. I also believe there may be some sweet white wine casks in there in the background. I'm getting that sort of slightly Sauternes note in the background. So along with the raisins, I'm noticing sultanas as well. This just gives more depth and range of flavour and complexity to the dram, even before I've got round to adding some water. So I'll do that right now. Add a drop of water. You know, I reviewed the last version, the 2023, that I bought. That's the one that I actually bought. Was in review number 1061. Back in January 2025, which is just over a year ago. And even then, I was applauding the quality of the bottling, which is why I'm back so soon. I'm pouring some water in the glass. My goodness, the threading and the symmetry is intense. An absolute legitimate sign of real quality and lack of chill filtration, which every time it's used will diminish and remove flavour from the whisky, but in return it will add consistency. Consistency of accessible mediocrity. Right, it's just an opinion. My channel is an opinion. I'm not an encyclopedia, I'm not an authority, and I'm not an expert. I'm just an old geek that's been around whisky for 40 years giving an opinion. So please don't get your knickers in a twist. Thank you. I've added a drop of water. It's still mixing in with the fullness and intensity and the thickness of that whisky. Why is it so dense? Simple. The predominant use of fresh fill casks with some previous content, which has a greater weight compared to the lightness and solvency of whisky spirit. So there is definitely the sherry going on in there, and it's not super dark because they're not using sherry flavouring. These, in my opinion, come across as absolutely legitimate and very good quality, authentic sherry casks from various sources. It's not just Oloroso. I can see there's a Amontillado, there's a select, Palo Cortado could be in there as well. It's not just tasting of sherry and a little bit of spirit. There's a lot of understated complexity in here, which with experience you start to be able to kind of deconstruct how the whisky was constructed in the first place. And I'm going to have a look in the back label. It's small light writing, as always on so many labels. It's difficult to read, but I'm going to give it a bash once I have wiped the dampness off my Steampunker magnifying glass, because we're in a damp old mothy. What's it saying? Not a lot, actually. It says back in 1881, blah, blah, blah. So we're just getting a little bit of disingenuous spiel. It's a celebration, gentle spice, distillation, wonderful. It's wonderful. Well, of course they're going to say it's wonderful. Even if it's tap water, they're going to describe it as wonderful. Just so much of what's written on a label, on whisky labels, is just filler. It's vacuous filler. And distilleries really need to get round to and take seriously about and put tangible information, real information, which has real meaning to people that are buying the whisky. But the industry's full of very bad habits, as you already know. What else can I say? Small batch distilled, blah, blah, blah. Okay, righto. And then down at the bottom, and you'd find it eventually, down at the bottom, it says natural colour, unchill filtered. They could make it a little more prominent, but unfortunately the PR departments at distilleries have not caught up with growing trends in the real market. I'm going to make a prediction. I can see it happening already. As a number of established whisky distilleries wake up to the fact that people no longer automatically trust their brand anymore because they've had too many bad bottlings, disappointing bottlings, particularly disappointing bottlings that are overpriced. And some customers called consumers will tolerate it, they'll put up with it because they think, well, it's just the way it is. But more and more the proportion of people buying whisky in 2026 to 2036 and beyond are people who are looking for quality they can recognise. They'll never learn about it in a magazine, but they will learn about it in a whisky club, at whisky festivals, and from enthusiasts online. That's where the zeitgeist is. And distilleries need to start being more transparent with the actual facts of construction and creation of a whisky. Here we have with Bunnahabhain some partial information. It's natural coloured, and I don't doubt that for a minute, and it's unchill filtered. And I can see the Scotch mist, always a sign of genuine, and it needs to be genuine, non-chill filtration actually happening. Always the best sign. You know as well as I do, there's too many distilleries claiming that they're not chill filtering, but they're still heavy filtering. And do you know why they say that and mislead us without actually lying? Because they don't respect us. Think about it. They don't respect us. The thing is, malt mates, if they don't respect us, then they'll have to do without our money. So perhaps it's time a few whisky businesses woke up to the new reality and started producing quality like this consistently. But that's not enough now. It's got to be openly declared in meaningful content on the label and not just virtually unreadable flannel, fluff and filler stuck in the back, which means absolutely nothing. Look at that Scotch mist. Can you see that Scotch mist starting to grow in that glass? It takes a few minutes, but oh boy. Last night, sitting in the fireside, I looked into the glass after about 15 minutes and I thought, my goodness, that is as thick as a genuine sea mist hitting the shore in November. Beautiful stuff. You can actually literally see it appearing in the glass. Absolutely legitimate. The taste, intensely, beautifully rich, fruitcake, sweet, sour, tangy. Sweet, sour, tangy means there's bitterness in there that has mixed with the sweetness and become more cough sweet, lozengey, cough mixturey, in the most delightful way. This is beautiful stuff. See, in my channel, by the way, I've now reviewed Bunnahabhain 21 times. And that's 20 times more than some other brands. There's a reason I come back to Bunnahabhain. One of the main reasons is because not only can they bottle really good stuff at accessible prices, but they sell their whiskey to the independent bottlers, so I can buy it under the code name Stoisha, right? Which is peated Bunnahabhain. So we learn the code, we learn the signal language when Bunnahabhain appears from independent bottlers, and frequently it's very good. Not always, but it's up to us to do our homework. And that's what we do. And the best homework we could do is seek advice from people who have bought a bottle. Nobody can give you a better appraisal of a bottle of whiskey than someone that's already bottled it, bought the bottle, and because of that, they're invested in being honest. Which is why I just don't accept any special offer gifties, because the chances are really quite high, malt mates, and I don't mean to be too cynical with you, but you know exactly what I'm going to say here. The chances are that when they hand out bottles to influencers and experts, right, they're handing out primed bottles of better quality than are ever going to appear in the shop, because it's business. I would suggest the bigger business of these whiskey businesses is actually looking after their customer by looking after the pricing of their product. Bunnahabhain, on this occasion, are doing a splendid job. This is very impressive. It's not exactly the same as the last bottling, but in its own way, in my opinion, it's just as good. Last taste and try before the malt mark. Here we go. Do you know, I like doing reviews like this, where I can really enjoy telling you how good the whiskey is. It just makes my job so much easier. Imagine if I was, there's times, by the way, I do buy bottles of whiskey in good faith, and they're not even good enough to review for you, because all I have to say about them would be shockingly bad news, and I would really say, I recommend, whatever you do, do not touch this whiskey with a barge pole. There's no excuse for poor quality when good quality is achievable. And this is something the whisky industry everywhere needs to keep in the forefront of their mind going on from here, as things get a lot tougher and a lot tighter. Look at that Scotch mist. Isn't that a thing of beauty and honesty? Smell. Soft, fudgy, gentle caramels. European, like Belgian chocolate, soft caramels. It's got that lovely, soft, languid note. It's almost like eau de vie de toffee. A little bit of banana. Lovely, soft raisins getting softer and juicier. Just all round fantastic stuff. There you go. Fantastic. Taste. Such a measured, articulate, classic arrival in the palate. The sweet turns to sour. It takes 4 to 5 seconds to do so. Then the crisp, mild, syrupy, gingery notes, soft spices, cardamom, mace, a little bit of coriander in the back. Then you get the fruit notes coming onto your tongue. This is an absolute joy. I'm going to give this a malt mark. If only more whiskies could be like this. Not in terms of flavour, but in terms of quality and delivery. If only. 88 out of 100. There you have it. That's a very good mark. It's earned it. I feel rewarded for my investment. But importantly, I feel that it won't be too too long before I buy another bottle of Bunnahabhain. With the money you provide me through advertising and being Patreon subscribers, where you get extra content, that's what gives me my budget to buy my whiskey, and also importantly to keep the autonomy of my opinion about these whiskies. And there's times that the whiskey industry really would rather I didn't call them out in certain things. But I tell you what, sometimes you've got to offer a bit of tough love to the industry, because they need to wake up to the fact that if they continue to bottle chill filtered, chemically dyed product, telling us the increasing monotonous, monotone drivel of how fantastic it is and there's no such thing as a bad whiskey, their industry's just going to die right under their feet. We will all just walk away, because there's no point in wasting our money any further if the quality isn't there. The quality is here. The money I paid, not a penny was misplaced. Congratulations, Bunnahabhain. Please, in your next edition, do it again, because I will be sorely tempted to buy another bottle and probably review it. See you soon.